If you were with us earlier this week, the U.S. House sent U.S. House subcommittee hearing on oversight hearing taking place out in the field. So they brought it here to Charlotte, calling it victims of violence. And they spoke to a number of people, families, victims involved with violent crime and their family members, one of them being Steve Federico, whose daughter, a Waxhaw resident, went to visit friends in Columbia, South Carolina, and was shot earlier this year in May. So he actually spoke. He's been speaking to our Tradisha Woodard over the last several months. He spoke at this hearing earlier this week, and again, speaking to our Tradisha Woodard yesterday. A very emotional interview. Let's play that for you now here in its entirety on WCNC Plus.
To it. Don't speak about it until you have a daughter or child killed or a loved one. Then you can speak all you want to it. Okay? I'm 1,000% okay with the death penalty, without a doubt. I think the justice has to fit the crime. The punishment has to fit the crime. I think there might be certain cases where obviously each case is different, but in my daughter's case, I don't think it is. I think it's warranted. I think it checks all the boxes. And people might think that's a little vicious, an eye for an eye. But like I said, that's a personal choice to murder somebody. And that personal choice has to have consequences.
Do you think that having a law like this in place could help protect future victims?
Well, not only do I think it'll help, but I think if it's adjusted to where the appeals process happens right away, and the amount of time that they're sitting in prison waiting to be executed is lessened, I think that will also help. I think waiting 30 years, basically you get to live your life still. I think there should be a limit to how long they get to appeal and how long they get to wait. My daughter didn't get an appeal.
Absolutely. And we know that there hasn't been an execution in North Carolina since 2006. Why do you think it's so important for us to bring that back?
Well, look, crime obviously is I think on a rise. I think violent crime is on a rise, and I think the biggest part of that crime is reoffenders, and I think they've proven that when they reoffend, they escalate. Okay. And when they escalate, it's murder generally. So I think it needs to be back. I think it should be in every state. Honestly, I think when you take someone's life, you have to know that you're going to get your life taken. Period.
One of my last questions is, do you believe, I know a lot of folks talk about how executions doesn't heal the pain. Do you believe that this could possibly bring some peace to families who are hurting?
Listen, I'm not excited about, having to put someone to death. I think just like I said, I think the crime has to fit it. Okay. But I don't think you need to value somebody's life that didn't value someone else's life. We're human beings and we need to treat people like human beings. And if you can't do that, and if you've proven that you can't do that countless times, I don't know, like 39 times, I just don't think, how many chances do you get? Because it used to be 3, right? So when did it change to 40? Because somebody forgot to tell me. Okay. Time and time again, like guys like Alexander Dickey are given chances by being let out of prison and not even in prison. So now we have to radically change it. And it's radically changing it by giving the sentence they've earned. Hey, we're not giving it to him. He earned it.
And another thing I want to mention, you talked about time and time again being let out, even for the over 100 people, even, it's not a simple process. It's okay, we're going to execute you. A lot of people are sitting in death row and they're just sitting there and nothing's happening, nothing's moving forward. So that's also still a very good piece of time for some negotiations and wiggle room as well, to kind of wiggle your way out of that instance as well. So I thought that was very interesting.
Well, we can make some room in prisons, if you know what I mean.
I
I
agree.
mean, if they're on death row and their appeals are up, their appeals should go in front of everybody else's. Okay. Like I said, Logan Federico, Irina, they didn't get to appeal anything. Irina didn't even get to plead for her life. We believe my daughter did. Okay. So, and he showed no emotion whatsoever. Think about this. After an hour and a half after he executed Logan, he was out spending her money. So, yeah, what's prison going to do for him? He deserves everything he gets, and I'm going to make sure he gets it. And I can tell you right now, Alexander Dickey, I'm coming for you, and I'm not going to stop until I get what I want.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to mention or say that maybe I didn't mention?
No, I just, people need to realize that, when you speak about to a parent of a murdered child, and you want to voice your opinion about execution of that criminal, speak softly and watch your words.